These people have an agenda for world domination. Through the centuries, through the hundreds of years, it comes through different forms.
The first big project, successful project of modern science was mapping the world. And it was obvious to everybody that it's not being done out of sheer curiosity. It's being done in order to control and to conquer.
I like to be an explorer, like the great Magellan.
Oh, you're too late. There's really nothing left to explore.
Mapping the world was the first step to conquering it. 500 years of modern science was much more about gaining control than about anything else.
And when you study history and this dark art stuff, you realize that this long con has happened for a very long time to teach everybody what is up is down.
There is no up or down.
There is no such thing as not moving.
Are you a boy? Are you a girl?
There is no such thing.
Difference. What's down on a globe?
It's an exercise in dominance, in hegemony, in power. People don't know what science is or how and why it works.
Science is mainly about gaining power over the world.
We own the science, and we think that the world, should know it.
And she said she wants you to know that they own the science. They own the science. So they can lie about it, they can manipulate it, they can deceive you, and they do. You notice, there's no debate. Where's the scientific debate? Where are the individuals that disagree with the concepts and conclusions of the we own the science crowd?
I asked you to debate one of them flat earth guys.
No, I don't. I can't. No.
You're going to have him on Skype.
No.
You don't want to have arguments about it. You want to shut down the debate before the debate even happens.
That is something that should not be debated. Does not belong in front of an audience getting debated.
They don't have the debate because they know they would lose it.
I don't have the energy to fight all of that. I just teach people sort of how to think.
Can't we just have an open conversation in this country anymore?
The whole scientific method that we seem to have forgotten about that requires questioning and requires discourse.
No, not at all. This threatens their power because they have an open conversation. They can't win.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
The task is to get people thinking straight in the first place. Train your mind.
Listen to what this guy says.
The main mission is really to change how people view the world.
When they empty your brain, they will inject the slave mind.
Let's say you have a slave who's actively trying to find their freedom but doesn't know where the door is. That's not great if you're a slave owner, right? So you'd much rather have a slave that knows exactly where the door is, can leave anytime they want, and choose not to.
They're even attempting to destroy your own faith in your own eyes.
Yeah, it looks really straight, but it's not because the earth is a sphere.
They tell you you're wrong. They tell you your eyes are wrong.
It's a brainwashing tactic of giving over your free will to an authority. It does not look like you're on a spinning ball. There's no evidence with your eyes or hands or ears or anything that you're on a spinning ball. So to accept that worldview means that you're putting another entity above yourself when it comes to discernment. And once you do that, then they got you.
They've won. They control your brain.
If you can't believe your own eyes, then what can you believe?
It's got nothing to do with this. That's you trying to be human about this. Don't be human. That mess you up.
Your brain is wrong. Do you understand that they're doing this so that when you can't trust your own eyes, that they can just tell you the most blatant lies in the world and you have to believe them?
Now, it's often the butt of many jokes. And now scientists have made some incredible new discoveries about Uranus. Uranus opens and closes to let out solar wind. And astronomers say the process does occur every day. The data was recorded in 1986 by the Voyager 2 spacecraft, but only recently analysed.
Have to train ourselves to trust the data.
Not even have you understand where you are. That is how they could control you forever. People need to wake up to that reality. This is why they're trying to censor everything.
Censorship is the key. It's the linchpin to maintaining power for them.
This is why they want to shadow ban everybody.
Flat earthers get banned on YouTube.
You can see porn on Instagram, but I put something about flat earth. I said if I do it again, they're taking my Instagram, there goes all my money.
Crazy is that?
I know, right?
Why are they banning it?
Why would they censor it?
They're hiding it. Why would they do that?
Somebody's trying to cover something up.
Absolutely, because if it was so ridiculous, then they would allow the counter narrative and they would allow discourse and discussion.
Yeah.
Why, Alex?
Right there. Why would they do that?
Because Google cares about us.
Alex.
Exactly.
They censor it because it's true. Because it's all true.
You can be wrong all you want. It's when you're right.
that they target you.
These people don't want you in reality. They want your conscience, they want your soul, they want your mind.
You know, the whole idea that humans, they have this soul or spirit and they have free will, that's over.
This is about taking away your free will and autonomy as a human being.
They start super early.
One of the first things we're taught
As a baby, as a toddler,
The earth is round, and they just pound this into you.
and most of us go through our lives without ever doubting this assertion.
what you learned in kindergarten.
It generally goes unchallenged as an obvious fact, rather than a debatable claim.
Kindergarten.
For thousands of years, the general public thought that the Earth was flat, and everything revolved around it.
Why? Because it looked flat.
Like if you go to ancient Egypt, you're going to find flat Earth cosmology. If you go to ancient Hebrew, ancient Near East, you name it, flat Earth cosmology.
Then, Nicolaus Copernicus said that the Earth wasn't flat, and definitely not the center of anything.
Just our ego that supported the idea that we are in the center of all things. It kind of made sense when you thought about it. When you thought about it.
Kindergarten. There's a problem with being inexorably connected to your first belief. When you have an idea and it's in your head, it's very difficult for people to shake that idea, and they start arguing that idea becomes a part of their identity.
And they dig their heels in deeper
Yes.
when an opposing view is presented
Because
to them.
they connect themselves to these ideas.
Right.
It is who they are.
If you see something repeat 100 times, that's reality. It's just something that becomes true just because you heard it often enough. You hear it enough, it must be true.
Yeah.
There it is. In the old days, we called it brainwashing, where you repeat something and then it becomes true. That's hijacking this feature of our evolutionary brain. So you try to sift through what is true, and it must be that which was repeated often enough. You are comfortable in your ignorance, and you don't even know your ignorance because you came to it from having learned, but only up to a point. They're not only controlling the information you receive, they're shaping how you receive it, which has an effect on how you then behave. How you create a worldview. You create an understanding of how things are, either because someone convinced you or you convinced yourself. Now there's a gap, or there's some information that conflicts with it. So you're going to say, if you cherish this worldview, that information that conflicts with it was falsified, or that was wrong. They don't know what they're doing. You can maintain your worldview.
We hold on. Like, I spent so many years learning something, and now the world has changed.
The interesting thing about an objective truth is that it's true no matter what. Imagine that.
People need to understand to control their minds, otherwise other people will control it for them.
And you have no foundation in objective reality, it can be dangerous. If your personal belief system does not have correspondence in objective reality, that's an unhealthy situation for civilization to be in.
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
We feel that academia, as the holder of truth, plays an essential role, particularly today.